Hi guys, here's Mr. Ferd. Welcome back to the channel. I am back in the man cave and I have completed Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and I just thought I'd quickly drop my final thoughts on it really. It took me about 25 hours to complete this game. However, once you finish the game, for the 100% completionists out there, there's still plenty to explore and plenty of collecting to do. You have your might crystals which you need to collect. You have all your outfits you need to collect. There's plenty of side quests that you need to do. You also have some pieces of heart and some stamps. Now, I think I have about 18 out of 25 stamps, 30 out of 40 hearts, and 110 out of 150 might crystals. So I haven't completely collected everything, but I'm not one of those 100% completionists anyway. But I feel that I've completed this game and have given it a good innings. So I picked up this game up from my local game store, those game stores now which are sort of tucked away at the back of Sports Direct. On the day of release, I paid £60 for it. The cheeky beggars at Game, the day after it was released, they dropped the price 10 quid. So had I waited 24 hours, I could have saved myself a tenner. But that's all by the by. So this game here, it goes back to the old school Zelda games, the Zelda games that we used to play on the Super Nintendo, the Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance, like A Link to the Past, the Minish Cap, and Link's Awakening. The old school style games where you explore dungeons and you loot them and you get new equipment, and the new equipment sort of allows you to open up new areas of the map and explore other dungeons and other areas that perhaps prior to gathering that piece of equipment you weren't able to get to. That's great. There's a twist. Obviously, you don't play as Link, you play as Zelda, which is a nice twist. Having said you can't play as Link, actually, I mean, the developers put in a workaround, haven't they? Because you can actually transform into Link for a limited amount of time using the power of your Tri. So when you use your Tri energy, you can transform into Link, and then you have all the powers that Link did with his sword, his shield, his bombs, and his arrows, and it will help you sort of dispatch enemies quickly. If you have no energy, which, to be honest, you'll very rarely have no energy in this game, because you can always replenish by collecting more crystals and also using drinking your smoothie shakes. If you do, however, run out of energy, then Zelda's main form of combat is using her Echo Staff, which if you defeat an enemy, you'll now be able to sort of call upon that enemy as an echo, and that enemy will therefore do all the fighting for you. You can have a certain amount of control over the echo that you create by focusing on the enemy that you want your echo to attack. 9 times out of 10 that does work. However, there's probably 1 out of 10 times where the echo goes rogue, doesn't fight the enemy that you're focused on, and sort of goes away and does its own thing. But that's only a very, very minor annoyance. I mean, for me personally, I know IGN gave this game 9 out of 10. I think I would give it 8 out of 10. A couple of reasons why. The first reason is this game is very, very easy. It's probably the easiest Zelda game I've actually played in the franchise. It doesn't take long for Princess Zelda to be massively overpowered with her echoes and with her abilities. As I said, you can transform into Link, so you have all of Link's abilities and you can hit people, with the Master Sword. But there are some echoes, in particular things like the red and black spider, which you can attach to, which will help you climb walls. As soon as you get that echo, I mean, there is no part of the map which you can't access and you can't explore pretty much right from the get-go. The dungeons as well, they were great. It probably on average took me about maybe 20 to 30 minutes on a dungeon. The puzzles weren't too head scratching. I mean, there certainly wasn't any dungeons like there were in the the water temple in the Ocarina of Time, for example, or even the water temple in A Link to the Past. So there was nothing to that degree of difficulty. Outside of Zelda being quite strong and quite overpowered, the map. I guess I'm just so used to these days of big, scrawling maps. you know, that are absolutely huge in these open world games. By comparison, Hyrule in this game felt very, very, very small. There is you open up warp points, so you can warp. Once you open up these warp points, you can warp to and from anywhere on the map. But also the ability to sort of travel the map quite early on. It just felt very small. It felt like I'd explored the whole of Hyrule and seen what Hyrule had to offer very, very quickly within a sort of a short space of time. So that was another downer. And the other thing, I mean, you've probably heard this in other reviews, haven't you, is the menu selection system. For me, it's a minor annoyance. I don't know how they're going to improve it, really. I mean, when I got all my Echoes, I found that I was only using probably about 8 of them out of, I think, there's about 60, maybe 70 Echoes you could use. But I stuck to the core 8 Echoes. I was just wondering whether you could add those favourite Echoes to something like a wheel system in the Secret of Mana, where you can call up your wheel and then select an Echo using your thumbstick. So I don't really know how they improve the menu or selection process when you're going through the Echoes that you want to use. Outside of that, the game looks absolutely brilliant. You know, it's got all the tightness, sharpness, it's got all the fun and enjoyment that a Nintendo first party title always have. I mean, Nintendo by and large always knock these out of the park. I guess I would just like the map to be a little bit larger, and I guess I would like the game length to be a little bit longer. You know, a couple more dungeons thrown in there wouldn't have been amiss. There are some sort of side bosses that you can defeat as you go about exploring. You might come across there's a sort of a kind of a centipede in the desert. There's a jellyfish in the sea, and if you stumble upon these enemies, then you can defeat them. But I don't know, I didn't really find the rewards that enticing, to be honest, once I defeated those kind of semi-bosses. But certainly, if you explore enough, then you'll come across enough pieces of heart and enough stamps and enough might crystals to think it's, you know, well worth your while. So for me, having completed this game in about 25 hours, I think I'm going to stick with my score of 8 out of 10. It is certainly a great game and it's definitely worth picking up. I think 50 quid's worth it, because computer games now, I mean, we're going to hit that £70 price mark not too far away. And I posted a short not long ago saying I'm surprised that the one thing that's remained consistent for the last 30 years is the price of computer games. I mean, I was paying 50 quid for a computer game 30 years ago. I'm still paying 50 quid for a computer game now. So anyway, that's Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I'll quickly finish off. There was a query on one of my last sort of game review videos about why I don't include gameplay footage, which is a very good and valid question. The answer is that I just do not know how to edit proper slick looking gameplay footage into a video yet. I just do not have that knowledge. So I'm not going to pretend that this channel is anything that it's not. It's just me giving my thoughts on this game, and I would recommend anyone who has a Nintendo Switch would pick this up and they will thoroughly enjoy it and feel like they've got their money's worth. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.